So anyway, the talk is 23 minutes, 18 minutes.
Okay.
And we will show you the signs. So yeah. Okay.
I think I can.
They will use the
No, I think I will click on my laptop. Okay. Yeah, so we can start? Yeah, okay. Hello everybody. My name is Dmitrii Bocharov, and I'm gonna tell you about Eclipse Docker and OpenShift tooling. I'm a software engineer in Red Hat. I'm working on JBoss tools, Hibernate, and OpenShift tools. And since recently, I'm also working on language server protocol integration in Eclipse Chair. My presentation will consist of some slides, but most of the time I'm going to show you a demonstration of OpenShift and Docker tooling. And all the materials you will be able to find on my GitHub page. I will show it at the end once more. There will be a presentation, and also I will put a link to YouTube video of the demonstration. So, some words about Docker tooling. It's part of Linux tools, and it's part of Eclipse Foundation. But Red Hat has lots of contributors there too. The main theme in Docker tooling is Explorer view, where you can find images and containers you have in your Docker engine. And also from this Explorer view, you can manipulate with containers and images. I will show you how to do this. Also, we have Docker file integration. There is some basic content assist. And the context of this Docker file is connected with your workspace in Eclipse. So if you have some references from the Docker file to your files in your project, you can easily go from the Docker file there. And I will also show you Compose integration, Docker Compose integration. So now let's start with demo. So first of all, I'm going to create a Docker connection. Here I click on the link in Docker Explorer. You can see that a default path to the Unix socket is already filled here. But if you are on your Windows machine, you can click here search button, and Docker machine tool will be used to find available Docker engines running. So I'm gonna call my connection name devconf, and let's create Docker connection. And under this, if we expand this connection, you can find available containers and images here. You can pull an image from Docker Explorer. You can click pull here. You can choose a Docker registry account, or you can add a new one. And for example, you can search for wildfly image. Let's try. And it will show you the found available images in the registry. If we click next, you can see the available tags of this image. You can choose what you want and click finish, and this image will be pulled. I'm not going to do this right now because it takes some time, and I already have here this image pulled. You can, sorry, it's because of the resolution. You can add tag here for this image right from the Docker Explorer. Wildlife, let's say 1, 2, 3. you can see that a new tag appears here. You can also remove tag, and let's run this image. Let's create, let's call the container wildfly, and we also make a port forwarding from 8080 to 8080, and we click finish. In the console view, you will see the log of the Docker of the wildfly, and if we go to localhost 8080 now, we can see that wildfly is running. And in containers in Docker Explorer, you see that a new container is created. Let's stop it by now. Now I'm going to show you the Docker Compose integration. I will show it on the example of a Spark project. Spark project is a cluster computing framework, and here in Docker Compose YAML file, I defined a master node and two workers which have link to the master. So here's worker 1, and it has link to the master node, and worker 2 which has also a link to the master node. So in order to run Docker Compose file, you can click on this file and run it as Docker Compose. We can see the log that master is created and two workers are running also. And if we go to the same page and now refresh it, you can see that master is started, and we can see here two workers are running too. So let's stop these containers right from the console view. And after some time, we can see that Spark master and workers are not running. So it will stop now. So yeah, it takes some time. Now let's go to the Docker file. I'm going to show you. Let's change the basic wildfly image a little bit. I'm going to add an admin user. Here I will run, here on this line, I will run add user script, which will add admin user, and also will run the following command to add here a debug option so that we can debug application. We add admin user in order to be able to deploy an application to Wildfly. Sorry. In order to run this Docker file, you click run as Docker image build. As soon as the build is finished, you can see that a new image appeared. Actually, and now when we run this image, we can go now to localhost again, and we see that Wildfly image is running, and we have administration console here available, where we can log in with admin user, which was added. Now we want to deploy an application to this Wildfly running. In order to do this, we need to create a server adapter. A server adapter is a layer above server which is running, and it allows us to control this server, deploy applications there, and other different options. So let's create okay, I hope it will work well. I can't see. Sorry. I hope it will choose the right one, because here you can see, you will find the list of available Wi-Fi server adapters. Because of the resolution of the screen, I can't see it. No, it doesn't choose.
Maybe you can try starting Eclipse and it will pick up the description.
Sorry?
Maybe you can try restarting Eclipse and it will pick up.
No. It won't work. I chose something. Yes, and it's Wi-Fi 11. Very good. So here we put a tick here so that we point Eclipse that our server is running externally and Eclipse doesn't need to start it itself. And we also click here to be controlled by management operations, so that we manipulate with the server via management API. Because we can't use file system, as we don't have a local directory which is mapped to the deployment directory in Wi-Fi. So we click finish and we can see that Wi-Fi server is created. So we can now start this server adapter, and we can add a project which I have locally in my workspace imported. Click finish. Whoa. Nice. You can see that a simple JAX-RS application is deployed to the server, and we can click show in web browser, and we can see that this application is running. Now I want to show you how to debug this application which is deployed to the server. In order to do this, we need to restart the server adapter in debug mode. While it is restarting, let's open a hello world file, and I have here a breakpoint on the 48th line. Now when we go to application and try to run it, you can see that I hit the breakpoint, and I'm in the debug perspective now, and I can debug my application. So that's all about Docker tooling. I will stop the container by now. Let's return to the presentation. So now I want to tell you and show you some things about OpenShift tooling and CDK tools. We create OpenShift tooling to simplify some basic operations of OpenShift. And one more important thing is that we have very close integration with Docker tooling that I already showed you just now. Some words about Red Hat CDK. CDK stands for Container Development Kit. This CDK product delivers the latest container toolings in Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7 virtual machine. It configures the single node OpenShift inside, and it has a pre-built Docker registry. So you have a self-contained environment where you can experience with container tools and run your container application very easy. Also, it is important that this CDK tool can be easily installed with development suite. You can find there was already a presentation here at DevConf yesterday by my colleagues Mohit and Denis about it, so you can find on YouTube how to install it via development suite. So we still have some time, and I will show you some things about container development kit. In order to manipulate with CDK, we need also to create a server adapter. One more challenge. Somewhere here. No. No, we need version 3. Yes, I did it. Now we need to choose the binary of the CDK, which is we need to find the binary of the CDK. Here you can select the hypervisor. So I have on my machine KVM and VirtualBox, but my CDK is configured with KVM. We click finish. We can see that here that we have an adapter for CDK. I already have my CDK running locally because it takes some time to start it. So to prove you this, I can show you the log. I just started it before the presentation, and it is running. Now, when we start the server adapter, we're not actually starting the CDK, but we create resources in Eclipse which will help us to develop a container application. When we started the CDK adapter, here a new Docker connection appeared. For CDK, here you can find that Kubernetes containers are running, some here OpenShift is running, and you can find images here available in CDK. Also, in OpenShift Explorer view, an OpenShift connection is created. And before the presentation, I already deployed there an application. And we can see that its pod is running. When application is already deployed, you can what you want is you want to get the source code of this application in your Eclipse workspace. To get this source code, you just click on the running service and click import application. I already have it here in my file system because it takes time to get pulled. So when I click finish, it will be just imported. Now I don't want cheat sheets. It will be just imported into Eclipse. So we can see here that a new project appeared in Package Explorer. Here you can create a new server adapter for this project and this OpenShift service, and you can debug your application which is deployed to OpenShift easily too. You can also very easily manipulate with service and pods. For example, you can scale up your application right from here. You can just click on the running service and click scale up. And you can see that a new pod is created here. So 2 pods are running. You can go here from to the origin web console, OpenShift web console. And here you can see these 2 pods running. And what is important is that everything that you do here in web console is synchronized with OpenShift Explorer in Eclipse. It's in both directions, and it's very comfortable. So you can do both things here and there. And one more important thing is the properties view of the service or of the pods. Here you can find lots of useful information, and in the properties view of running service, you can find information of the builds, build configs, pods, and so on. And for example, you even can start a new build right from the properties view. You choose the build config, right click on it, and you click start build. And you can see here that build pending and build is actually running. And if we go to the builds line, you can see that a new build, the third one, is running. and you can see the build log in your console view of Eclipse. So it is currently cloning the application into CDK. No, in OpenShift, sorry. So that is all I wanted to show you. So, as I just said, you will find all the materials and the demo on the following GitHub page. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer to them. So, thank you for your attention.